Is there anybody out there? Oh, there's one person. There's two people. Okay. I've never done it. Wait, Christian, this is Christian. Hello.
Hello.
I've never done this before, so I literally was just staring into the abyss, just waiting for someone to show up. Hi. Oh, this is so fun. Okay. Well, Christian, you're gonna be you're in this. Okay. All right. Christian's gonna be my question asker. Oh, my dad's here. This is a whole shebang. Okay. Christian had to get a beer because he's so stressed out that I started 1 minute late. And we have this rigged, we have my phone rigged with a ponytail holder on a $12 tripod I got on the internet that said it would work for your phone. It does not work for your phone. So this is super ghetto. I wish I could show you. But this is my first Instagram Live. I get a ton of questions about stuff all the time, and I figured this would be an easy way to answer them. I never thought I'd do an Instagram Live because I feel like that's like what celebrities do, and then just like really obnoxious people. So I'm gonna be an obnoxious person. Christian's really nervous. Okay.
I'm great.
He's
I got the LSU game on.
He's watching the LSU basketball game because he can't focus.
Up 5.
He thinks that we're on CNN right now, and so he's really stressed. So I put together a Google Doc, because I love Google Docs, of questions I've been getting asked, along with some questions that I get asked a lot. But I guess a little backstory while people join. My name's Jordan. I'm a photographer. Put some hardcore in the background. Yeah, there we go. So I am a photographer, and I live in Baton Rouge. This is so weird. I'm just talking about myself. I went to LSU and graduated in 2014 in photography and did not know what the heck I was going to do. I actually was in a photography club in my freshman year of college. I remember they asked us to introduce ourselves, and I said, my name is Jordan. I take pictures of everything but people. And that's so different now. So crazy. Yeah, she does what she wants. This is true. Oh, hey, Sean. Wow, this is great. It's like a big party, but we don't have to be anywhere. I should do this every day. So anyways, so I've kind of grown into being a portrait photographer, music photographer, all kinds of different photography styles. And it's just funny because I started out never wanting to take pictures of people ever. So I graduated and I worked for a local wedding photographer I interned for her for a little bit, and then I worked for her for a year outside of, hey Chris, see?
Yeah.
Worked for her for a year after college and learned a lot, and especially a lot of like what I didn't want to do. Like, so she was mainly a wedding photographer, and I kind of was exposed to that industry and learned a lot, and then tried to do it myself, and then realized I really hated photographing weddings, was not going to do that. Hi, Whitney. So I kind of dabbled in the wedding stuff for a while, worked for another photographer for a while, and then I ended up getting a job full-time doing graphic design for a local nonprofit theater, Manship Theater, and so I worked full-time doing that for a whole year and doing my photography on the side. And so that was 2015, 2016, and I was like hella stressed out because I was working 9 to 5 for a nonprofit, so I wasn't getting paid a whole lot, but I was also trying to run my photography business on the side. So I was like waking up at like 7 a.m., editing pictures until 9 a.m., going to work from 9 to 5, sometimes taking photos on my lunch break, leaving at 5 p.m., going straight to a shoot, probably not getting home till like 8 p.m., and really not making enough money doing either thing, but doing both and just being completely balls to the wall, stressed out all the time. So I loved my job at Manship Theater, and doing graphic design was really fun, especially because that's not what I did in college. I just kind of, it fell in my lap, and it's a great place to work, lots of creative freedom, learned a lot, made a lot of great connections. But in September of 2016, I was going to the doctor a lot about neck pain, back pain, and my arm. My right arm was like numb. I had nerve pain, nerve damage, and kind of was in a lot of pain all the time. And sitting at a desk all day and doing photography wasn't helping. So in September of 2016, I tried to quit my job, and they said, no, don't quit. So they were like, can you come do 1 day a week at Manship Theater and do your photography the rest of the time? So I had neck surgery in November of 2016, and it's been over a year now of doing my photography pretty much full time, and I do go to Manship Theater 1 day a week to do graphic design, so they're kind of like a client, kind of. It's weird. No, not really, but it's fun. But I'm there 1 day a week doing graphic design, and then doing photography the rest of the time. So that kind of stemmed into doing social media for different brands and companies, and then doing a lot of portraits and creating content for people. So when I mean like creating content, I'm not like writing articles or making videos or anything. I'm doing photography for, like, commercial photography for brands that they end up using for their website, social media, etc. Oh, hi, Bridget. I know, all these internet friends. This is so cool because I'm just talking, and we all know each other's life stories anyways. So that's kind of like to bring you up to speed. It is now 2018. I am doing my thing. I'm doing what I want most days. Some days I do a lot of stuff I don't want to do, but that's what we're working towards, is 100% do what you want. So I'm doing photography, a little bit of freelance graphic design for Manship Theater, a little bit for Vans Warped Tour, and then some random projects here and there, and then social media management and content creation for lots of people. So I talk really fast. That's why I did online workshops, so y'all could pause and rewind, but you can't rewind on live, so I'm really sorry. Christian's probably having like a brain aneurysm because he's so stressed out. You doing okay? You're chilling. He's just watching the basketball game. He's here for moral support. I was super afraid that I was going to start Instagram Live, sit here alone, and have like 2 people like tune in, and then I'd be like... So I needed someone to be here, so that way even if like 2 people were here, I could like act like I was chill. I've been real stressed out about this. So it's 2018 and I still have back problems. I had a neck surgery in 2016, and last year was a big year of growth. And Mom, Dad, you cannot be in my live video. They're sending requests trying to be in the live video. We're not going to split the screens. Y'all can just watch it. Anyways, my mom got an Instagram last week, so she's really excited. So where was I even going with this? I don't know. Oh, so 2018 started. 2017 was a big year. I do a lot of senior portraits. I mean, I don't want to like sound like negative, but I really don't enjoy doing senior portraits. But that's the majority of what I do. And I mean, they're fun, but I think I just got burnt out because I did so many of them. So 2017 was kind of a year of learning like to slow down because my back hurts all the time. And to really focus on doing the things I want to do. And what I do like to do and want to do is things on the internet, like blogging and Instagram Live, I guess, and making online tutorials and doing more than just photography, because there's only so many hours in the day that I can go out and actually physically be present to photograph someone or to help someone. And not everyone has the price point that I'm, wanting to charge now, and not everyone has the time, or we're not like vibing on the same plane. So doing online stuff is really, I think, more my speed, because I can help more people and do like less physical activity and have my back be saved for the projects and assignments and collaborations that I really am looking forward to doing, and not feeling so obligated to say yes to everything all the time. So this is the year that I'm trying to do more blogging and workshops and podcasts. I don't know, anything, everything. I just love to talk. So anyways, so I was kind of doing a little intro so y'all know what's going down. Also, because I didn't want it to start and be like, first question, and there's like one person here. So I'm giving Christian my computer to ask me the questions. I had some people submit some questions, which is really cool, but I'm also going to start with questions that I get asked like all the time, like every day. So he's going to start with those.
All right.
Pow, pow.
Hello. Question number 1. So how do you make money doing what you do, and what does your everyday look like?
Well, in terms of photography, I make money by being like, hey, I will show up for this amount of time and you will pay me X amount of money. And then I do the thing and they get their pictures within 2 weeks and all is good. So I do get that question a lot, which is funny because people are like, what do you do? And I'm like, I'm a photographer. I take pictures. But in other aspects of ways I can make money is making like merch or online workshops or running someone's social media account. So like I have certain like people on like, I guess retainer, it would be monthly clients where like I do X amount of work for them every month on a consistent basis and I get paid. And then Manship Theater. So I go once a week. I work 9 to 5 doing graphic design. I do like all the creative direction and stuff for that. And then I go home. And so those are different ways I make money. So it's kind of a hodgepodge, which is how I like it. I think I'd be really bored if I was doing the same thing every day. So that's how I make money. And then what does my everyday look like? Well, I guess I just answered that. Every day is different. I'm trying to be more on a schedule because I'm not super disciplined. I mean, I kind of am. So the whole point of doing my thing full time was so that I could be flexible. But then if you're too flexible, then nothing ever happens. So I'm trying to be a little bit more structured. Like on Mondays, I want to send out like an email, like to my newsletter. And like if I can get one blog post up a week, this is my new goal, one a week. It doesn't matter what day of the week, then I feel cool. But most of the time, my schedule depends on clients and like when they're available for a shoot. So if so-and-so can only shoot on a Tuesday and I blocked off Tuesday for like, I'm going to watch Scandal that day, like whatever. No, I'm going to go to the shoot, obviously, because I don't want to like lose the money. So it kind of just depends. So my everyday is very different. I usually try to be done with work around like 5-ish, because that's when he gets off work, and then we hang out. But I work a lot of weekends. There's random mornings at 7 a.m. that I'm super productive. There's random events I'm working till, 4 a.m. It depends on the situation. So that's how every day looks.
Well, I'd say lighting plays a role, too.
Oh, yeah, well, lighting, too. Yeah. Like, if I'm shooting on location, like a portrait, I'm going to schedule it, like, an hour before sunset, if I can, because that's the best lighting. But if someone's only available at a certain time, then I work with that, because I'm the one that's, got the flexible schedule. So I'm pretty loosey-goosey with how that goes.
All right. Next question. What gear do you use?
Okay, I'm not a gearhead. Christian always makes fun of me. I know I have the things that I have. I don't really keep up to date with the times. I'm kind of like a grandma. I mean, I have what I have. So when people, like, if you ever want to message me and be like, what kind of camera should I buy for my girlfriend? Don't, because Google will be better. Because I'll just be like, you can buy the same camera I have, which is $2,000, but it's probably not what you need. So I have some of it right here.
Show and tell.
I shoot Nikon because my dad shoots Nikon, and so I kind of just got grandfathered into that. Shout out to Sheldon. Spot on photo, racing photography. This is my main camera body. It's a Nikon D750. It currently has a shutter recall that I never got fixed, so I'll be working with that. And it's a full frame sensor, and it uses SD cards, not compact flash. It's a DSLR as video as well. It's about all the technical terminology I know. And then on it is a 35mm 1.4. It's a, my dad says yes. It's a 35mm 1.4. It's a Sigma lens. I just got it around Black Friday, and I'm obsessed with it because it's super duper sharp. Like, I did not think it'd be sharp because my other Sigma lenses are kind of like meh, but this one's super sharp. Big fan. So I've been using it a lot. This is a Sigma 24mm 1.4. It is wider than that 35mm is, and I use it for concerts mostly. It's a prime lens. It's sharp-ish. It was sharper when I got it. It's not as sharp now. I usually think, I'm like, yes, I got this cool pic of this artist on stage. So pumped, and I get home, and then like his eyelashes in focus, but like not his nose. I don't know. It's like kind of iffy. And then this is also a Sigma. It's a 2470, so this is like kind of heavier, and it's a zoom lens. So, well, I don't know if I can zoom it. Yeah. Hey. It's a 2.8 2470, and it's also Sigma. This is like my versatile catch-all lens because I can put it on and use it at an event because I can zoom in and out if I don't have lots of like access to get closer, or I don't want to be creepy at an event and be like in someone's face. I can kind of like zoom in from far away and snipe them a little bit. But it's not sharp, like really at all. I use it for music photography only when I'm outdoor at festivals and there's lots of natural light. It really sucks indoors. Not a fan. It's got like this weird like fuzzy situation going on. If you hire me, I promise I will make these adjustments before I take your pictures. So those are my three main lenses I use, and then three main lenses I use. And then this is my Nikon 50mm. It's my Fast 50, and it's a 1.4. And it's probably one of the cheaper lenses I have, but it's one of the sharpest ones. I'm not going to go grab the big one. It's a 70-200 Nikon. It's like this big. But that's good for far away things, concerts, events. I don't really use it for portraits. I know a lot of people do use that for portraits, but it's too heavy. My back hurts. Like, if I can bring that 50 and it's just as good and I can be closer, then like YOLO, we'll do that. And then this is my backup camera body. It's a D700. It's also full frame, but it is older, so it uses compact flash. This is kind of annoying when I'm when I'm editing, and I have like half of my photos from one thing on SD cards and the other half on compact flash, and I need the card readers. It's a whole thing. But it's also really good, especially for being older. It's my backup. And then I have the Nikon D5100, I believe. It got ran over by a truck, and then they replaced it, and it's a crop sensor. I never use it. It's in my closet with all the crop sensor lenses. And then I have a flash. I hate using flash. Never have me use flash. Flash sucks. I only say that because I'm not good at it. But But it's a Nikon SB700. It's a speed light, nothing fancy. I have a little baby like fold-up diffuser for it. Yo, Tyler, you don't care about photography. This is great. We're going to teach everybody. And then I just bought this to film my workshops. I do not know like anything about video. My hair's so greasy. I don't know that much about video, so I'm just kind of like going with the flow with that. But this is a Rode shotgun mic. It was like $150, and I find it to be great because when I was recording the workshops in my house, I have hardwood floors, and there's lots of like reverb and echo, and this kind of just like gets that beautiful voice of mine in the mic easier. So in a nutshell, that's my camera gear stuff. I have a lot more other things. My dad has been generous and has gifted me lots of things throughout the years, but it's either like a lens that is for crop sensor, or it's a lens that doesn't have manual focus, or autofocus or whatever. So I have a lot of stuff that I don't really use, but I just keep it so I look cool. Like if I go to a big shoot, I'll bring everything so I can be like, I'm here, I have all my stuff, even though I use like one thing.
All right.
So Christian's probably like dying
Next
right
question. No, we're good.
now. Okay.
What are your favorite editing apps?
Oh yeah, for phone. So I get this a lot. I kind of get this question so much that I made a whole workshop about it. But
Nice little plug.
Yeah, this is what this is all about. I'm just here to sell you stuff. Do you want essential oils or skincare while we're at it?
No.
Okay. So what is apps. So my favorite editing app probably is VSCO. VSCO, Visual Supply Company. I think it does the most. Eric, he's like my hype man. It does the most. I feel like it's the easiest and most versatile app, if that made any sense. I've been using it the longest as well on my phone, and it has that whole old school film vibe that I like. People get really into that, and they go deeper with all like the grain and the fades, and I don't get crazy with it, but I like VSCO. And then I also like A Color Story, so because I like color. That's a good one. I use all kinds of apps. I mean, you have to buy the course if you want to know which exact ones, but no, really, those are all free. I mean, VSCO is great. A Color Story is great. Just the internal iPhone editing app or software is pretty good too. I didn't even talk about that in my workshop, but I mean, I've been able to edit use some different things, different, what's it called? Tool functions, I don't know, in the phone, like if you have an iPhone, like within your photos.
Yeah.
Those are good. Yeah, and then on the computer, is that even a question? Did I write that down? I'll just answer that.
No, but you can go ahead.
On the computer, I use Adobe Lightroom and Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator. I use all the Adobe things. And I have VSCO presets for Lightroom that I've purchased, but I've altered the one I use so much that it's like my own thing now. And then I have also bought presets from Jar. I don't know if he's watching, but he's cool. You should go definitely follow, at The Work of Jar, or just look up Jar presets on Instagram. This dude's really cool. His presets are really funky. Like I can't use them for like someone's senior pictures, but I can use them for like a cool music photo or personal work. But his filters are really cool. And he also has them for, presets. He also has presets for video. I don't know how to do any of that. I'll be figuring that out eventually. Yeah, Bridget says his presets are so good. They really are. So that's all the presets I bought some presets from a blogger. They sucked. And then I bought some from another dude. And so I just do all my editing myself. Helen says, "Hey, Dad."
Hello. That's so creepy. All right, so this is a very random question. This is not photography related, so you can be quick on that.
Oh yeah, I just threw this in here because I get asked this like every day. Where to go?
What mascara do you use? It's a lame question.
It is lame, but I'm tired of answering it every day. I used to work at Sephora. I like makeup, and I have long eyelashes, and people like to ask about mascara. This one is called Stila Huge. It's literally called Extreme Lash Mascara because it's extreme, and I'm wearing it. All right.
Okay,
next.
that's it. Yeah, that's done.
Okay. Oh my god.
Next question: do you do internships / can I shadow you, or can I shoot with you, or can you teach me X, Y, Z? That's a lot of questions in one.
Because I get all those all the time. Currently, I don't have internships. I live by myself in an apartment with cockroaches and water damage. I don't know where you would work. You'd probably sit like on my bed on top of my laundry and just stare at me while I didn't know what to delegate. So maybe eventually it'd be really cool. Sometimes I feel like I need help, but then I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing. How would I be able to tell someone else to do? So probably not anytime soon. And then, LSU. LSU stands for Louisiana State University, Amelia. It's where we went to college, and he's watching the LSU basketball game. Yes. That's why he's like really excited. Lots of swag. And then, so can I shadow you? I don't know. Maybe someday. I don't know. I'm just doing my thing by myself. Like, I was going to do this by myself until I was like, hey, if you want to go to Waffle House, you better come over because we're going to do this first. Then we're going to Waffle House after this. We go every month on the 7th for our anniversary.
It's a tradition.
Except for last month when I was doing Whole30. But I am like off of Whole30 hardcore now. I need to probably get back on that. Yeah. Anyways, what was the other one?
All right. Well, that's pretty much. Can you teach me X?
This is a question that I'm a little creeped out by. When people ask me like if I can come over to their house and like teach them something, I'm like no, because I don't know you. Also, if I can make workshops, maybe that's kind of why I'm trying to make workshops, because I can help more people at once. Like imagine if every person that ever asked me like, can I shoot with you? If I did that, I would never get anything done because I'd go out, I'd be shooting with everyone else. Like I would never get to do anything. So I'm flattered, but no, I won't come over to your house and show you how to like do Photoshop or anything. So I'm really sorry.
All right, so we're going to move into the fan questions now. Okay.
Oh my God, not fans. People who follow me questions.
Okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, maybe I was pushing it a little bit.
I don't have fans. I have a ceiling fan.
Yes. Okay, so our first question is from Kale, and he asked, what is your go-to camera setup besides your phone? So you kind of went into that earlier, but...
Kind of. Yeah, so most of what I do is not with my phone. Surprise, surprise. It's with camera stuff. My go-to setup is probably, as of now, this 35mm I just got, the Sigma. So the D750 with the Sigma 35mm and no flash, natural light, like an hour before sunset with somebody really cool, not lame. That would be my ideal setup. And, I didn't put this on here, but another question I get is because I have back pain, what camera straps do I use and stuff? So I don't know if I can show you. So this is a Black Rapid strap. It's actually a double harness. So when I'm shooting festivals or long events or whatever, it goes like over your shoulder, and there's two of them, and they clip right here, and you look like kind of badass because you're walking around with two cameras. You're like hang.
Dual wielding.
Yeah, but then you have to go to the porta potty at the festival to pee, and you have two cameras, and you're like trying to lower down slowly because stuff might be falling in. It gets crazy, but TMI. So, so when I'm not using two cameras, which is like most of the time, you can unclip it, and then I use it across my shoulder like a purse. So I used to wear a cool camera strap. It was really cool. It was like vintage from eBay. It was like from the 60s. I loved it. I felt like it was my brand. Anyways, I used to wear it around my neck, but it is not advised that I do that anymore because I now have a metal disc in my neck and bulging discs and degenerative disc disease. So I now wear it across me, and now these just get tight. My shoulder, was it the traps? Is that what that's called? The
yeah,
traps?
Kind of.
Bees in the trap. But I go to the physical therapy, and they needle it. So I would rather have, like, muscles be sore because they can be needled out than, like, something around your neck with tons of weight, and then it, like, eventually slips a disc for you. So that, I would recommend looking into the Black Rapid stuff. Also, a photographer I know, Jennifer Devereaux. If y'all like music photography, you should look her up. She's great. She posted about how her Black Rapids, because they screw into the bottom of your camera, it makes you kind of like anxious the first time you do it because it's just like hanging. You're like, eh. So she had hers, and I think that it fell or broke or something, and that never happens. And she complained to Black Rapid about that, and they made a big deal, and they're like helping her replace. I think they're helping her replace stuff. If not that, then they've like upgraded their stuff. So they're a good company from what it seems. So big fan of Black Rapid, and this has made a big difference with my neck pain. So next, I'm rambling. I don't know how long this is going to be, but we have to eat Waffle House, so it can't be that long.
All right. So the next question is from the Traveling Crawfish, which all the people not from Louisiana are probably confused about crawfish. But
crawfish is delicious.
That's another story for another day. Okay. So I'm always so nervous for Instagram Live stories. Instagram Live / stories. How do you get over the fear?
This is my first Instagram Live, so I don't know. I'm just drinking on my Brady Bunch cup and pretending like I'm talking to the camera. I'm not really shy, if you haven't noticed, so I don't get really nervous. So I don't know how to get over the fear because I'm not sure I really had the fear. But I will say, just the more you talk to people, the better it gets. Like I used to like when I started this, I said Instagram Live is for like obnoxious people. I used to think people who talked to their Snapchats and their Instagram stories were obnoxious. Like when it first came out, I was like, who are you? Like, why are you talking to like what is going on? And then I started following all these bloggers and seeing how they could really craft like a story. Like it's called like an Instagram story or a Snapchat story for a reason, because they literally like telling you a story, and it's all like seamless, and they probably sold me 5 things in the midst because I'm really, really impressionable. And so I just started talking to my Snapchat or Instagram stories, and it was really embarrassing. I was like, my friends are going to think I'm so stupid. But then people started responding, and I started getting like questions about things, and oh, me too, and yeah, whatever. Like it was really cool. And then I was like, oh, this is not just social media, like I'm posting stuff and getting off. It's like an actual community. So I feel like the more you do it, the more rewarding it'll be. And then this is my first Instagram Live, so you all can tell me if it's like ridiculous or if I should do it again or not. But I, as far as getting over the fear, I just say talk to yourself. I talk to myself all the time. I'm like in my window, like, hey Snapchat, like what's cracking? Like y'all can just unfollow me. I'm not gonna worry about it.
She always has something to say. Like,
yeah.
Like, truly, like there's never a dull moment.
So yeah, and then just maybe, I mean, like I talk to myself when I'm in my car. I talk in the mirror. I mean, that might help you get more comfortable. It is awkward. I feel really awkward right now, but it is what it is. So.
You're doing what you
want.
want.
You got to do. This is your business, man.
Yeah. All right. So next question. Anna is asking, what is your strategy for being more organized working from home? She struggles with this a lot.
I also struggle with it. I do not have strategies for being organized. That's something I should probably have. I learned a lot of my photography, like file organization, from the photographer I worked for. Because it was like a machine process. There were multiple people in the office working. So like, exporting photos, naming them, metadata, like filing away. So I got more organized by doing that, and I've kind of adapted the same system, but I'm doing this all by myself. So if I die tomorrow and y'all need to get into my file, you're not going to know what's going on. Like, I don't know how to be more organized. I'm learning as I go too, though. Like, I've always been a morning person. I suck at staying up late. Like, I was always the first girl asleep at the sleepovers. Like, I really love shooting music, but it's always late and I cry.
One thing this kind of came into my mind just now, but maybe you could talk a little bit about how you use some of these, different apps and stuff to plan out some of your social stuff, maybe, and kind of.
Oh yeah. Well, I think someone asked something about that, so I'll get into that in a second. Okay. But as far as me being organized, like in general, I've learned that I'm more productive in the morning, so I'm getting better at being like, I'm not going to schedule stuff in the morning, because if I wake up and I have to go somewhere immediately, the day is gone. Like, I'll end up at Target, like walking around for an hour. Like, if I wake up at my house and I don't have anywhere to be until like 2 p.m., I get so much stuff done, like, because I'm so productive in the morning hours. So I guess like what I would recommend is figuring out when you're most productive and keeping those windows of time open as often as you can. Like I said, if someone wants to hire me and the event is at a certain time, I'm not going to be like, no, that's when I drink coffee and watch the Today Show. But if I have a say in when I'm going to schedule something, I'm learning that I will get so much more done in the morning if I don't schedule stuff. Like, I'll tell him, like, I mean, I get up and I have coffee and I put on the Today Show and I eat and I get on my computer, and then I'll like blink and it's like 4 p.m. and I've been on the computer like all day because I just get on a roll. But contrary, like if I go run a bunch of errands and have a shoot and go to physical therapy and then I come home and it's like 2 p.m. I'm like, I'm just going to watch TV, and I don't do anything. So figuring out your strengths for productivity is probably the best way to stay organized. But I'm not the poster child for being organized, so.
It's all right. All right, so next up we have questions from Colleen from Chicago.
Oh, Chicago. What's up, girl?
All right, so she's got a lot of questions, but they're good questions. So the first question is, what programs are you using for graphic design? Are you designing with Illustrator, or do you use anything else like Procreate or Draw First?
I use Illustrator and Photoshop. I didn't know what Procreate was till like last week when this guy, Nick Miner, I don't know if he's watching, but he's really cool. He's like a really talented hand letterer in Baton Rouge, and he's about to release his own fonts, which is really cool. He uses Procreate, and I saw him post about it, and I was like, this is magic. Like, but like I said, I didn't really traditionally study graphic design. I ended up in a job in graphic design, and so whatever I've learned has been like on the fly, like every day doing that. And it's also a graphic design job where I'm not like hardcore making stuff from the ground up. It's like, here's a picture of an artist that's coming to the theater, here's 5 sponsors, here's the date and time, make it colorful, next. So I'm very fast, and I'm designing like, not template based, but I'm designing fast and just like the bare minimum of what needs to get across to sell more tickets. Like, they don't care if, like, I made a cool sketch. They're going to be like, okay, but does it sell more tickets? So I don't have a lot of experience with straight up, like, vectorizing things and, like, sketching. And so I wouldn't probably need to use Procreate. But, Colleen, you're really cool, and you're making cool pins and drawing logos and stuff. So you'd probably do good with that if you're not already using it. But, no, Illustrator and online tutorials.
Next question. How did you start shooting sports teams?
Okay, someone asked me this before. People think that I'm, like, on the road with, like, all these sports teams, like, shooting, like, every game. No, I've shot, like, 2 football games in my lifetime. Wait, or 3?
No, you shot more than that.
No, I think I shot, like, 1 last year, and I think I shot 2 this year for LSU football. That's it. But that's all about, like, being strategic and stockpiling content and then releasing it. So it makes it look like every week I'm somewhere, but I just shot 1 game. So I do freelance photography for a local magazine, 225 magazine, and I just do random stuff for them. I'm not on staff or anything, so if they're like, hey, can you go take pictures at, like, this restaurant? Can you shoot their gumbo? I'll be like, okay. Like, it's just random stuff. And so they had asked me last year, because I was running their social media at the time, if I could photograph an LSU game, so I would have, like, LSU related content. Because around here, LSU football is, like, a huge deal. If y'all aren't from here, it might not mean anything to you. But LSU football, like, you don't miss a game. If you live in Baton Rouge, the city shuts down. Like, you're going to be at the game. You're going to tailgate, whatever. So it's a huge thing. So they wanted me to photograph a game so I could stockpile a lot of content. And since I was running the social media, I would have something to post every Saturday to be like, it's game day, whatever. So they got me credentials because they're a local publication. And then I did the same thing this year for them as well, but I shot 2 games. And I'm not doing their social media anymore, but I did it for them to use in next year's magazine because when they want to start promoting LSU football, it's before the season, so they need pictures. So I shot this year's pictures for next year for their article. So I don't know how you get to shoot more sports teams. I think you have to be a journalist. It's probably the same as music. A lot of the ways you get to photograph music and musicians and concerts is through being a photojournalist. And so you find publications who need work. So Katie says hi, Chris.
It's not my name, by the way.
Yeah, Christian's name is Christian, and it drives him crazy when everyone calls him Chris, so we call him Chris.
No.
So, to end that question, I just have an in with a local magazine that I do their style shoots. I do some of their random publication stuff. Like, so, I don't know. Other than that, I guess you need to be working for a local newspaper, your school. If you are in college, like, I would definitely jump on that because if I would have known that, like, I'm already graduated, I would have been trying to do this, like, years ago. Yeah. Like, for all the sports. Because I think sports are really fun to shoot. I'd love to get more into that. So
basketball, potentially. And we've been talking lately.
I
went to a Pels
shoot
game the other day.
I want to shoot basketball.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool. I want to be, like, on the court. I want to be, like, in the middle of the court. I want to stand there.
Not a good idea.
But I used to be a cheerleader, so I was always into sports and stuff. But shooting it is so fun. It's super challenging. But that's how I got into shooting LSU, and that's, like, the only sports I've ever shot.
This is actually a pretty funny question. I would have never thought of this. What is your favorite food to eat while editing pictures?
Nothing. When I'm editing pictures, I forget to eat, which is crazy because I always eat every time, like, I'm hungry, which is a problem because I'm hungry all the time. But when I'm editing, I get in the groove, and I literally won't get up to pee. I don't know. It's just, I'm, like, very intense. It's, like, it's, like, nothing or 100.
Yeah.
So
I have to, like, tell her to eat. Like, she'll be
Yeah, he'll text me, like, take your medicine. Hey, eat your breakfast.
It's that bad. It really is.
But if I'm not editing pictures, my favorite foods to eat are Mexican, goldfish crackers, Waffle House, mostly goldfish crackers and LaCroix. That's what I live on around here.
Yeah, LaCroix.
Because until recently, I didn't really start cooking. I just started doing Blue Apron, so now I'm kind of doing stuff.
Plug for LaCroix right now.
Big fan. Okay, next.
Okay, next question. What gear do you usually travel with?
I'm sad. I really don't travel. I make it look like I do, but I mean, I went to New York last May, and I brought my camera thinking I was going to use it, and it was a burden. It was heavy. I was carrying it everywhere. I tried to, like, shove it in my purse to go places because I wasn't sure if they'd, like, take my camera going in places, and then I had my phone out most of the time. So really, I mean, I think your iPhone can do really good for traveling. If I was going, like, because I went to Europe in college and took my crop sensor camera at the time I was using with a wide lens. I think it was like a 11 to 17 zoom lens or something. And I used that everywhere, and that was pretty versatile. I would say if you're traveling, bring something versatile. but light. I don't know if sometimes photography is a compromise. Sometimes the versatile lenses are heavy and the light lenses are not versatile. So keep checking back on that one because I haven't really gone anywhere lately.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. How long does your editing process take for photos?
So for clients, I tell them you get them within 2 weeks of the shoot date. Colleen, you've never had Waffle House?
Oh, no.
God, do they have that in Chicago? I mean,
Yeah,
you'll probably have everything else.
I think it's like national.
Oh my God. It's just like a trashy diner. I love it. It's my favorite. It's like greasy and cheap and it's consistent. Anyways, my editing process, I say it takes within 2 weeks, but when I'm sitting down to do it, depending on how long the shoot was and how many photos there are to go to, it's probably like an hour and a half. Because I use Lightroom, so I batch edit. And if everything was taking in similar lighting conditions and I can create my own presets, then it doesn't take that long because I can like copy and paste my editing. And then if it's like one kid has like 4 specific zits on his face and I have to edit them out of every single photo, that takes longer. Or like I'm about to do a shoot, or I took pictures the other day of a local museum and they want me to edit out all the outlets on the wall, and I haven't started that yet because that's going to take longer. So I really would say like about an hour and a half or so. But I say within 2 weeks of the shoot date, that way like I can get other stuff done because I kind of have other things to do too. So once I'm sitting down and I'm on a roll and I'm not eating or peeing, about an hour and a half. Yeah.
All right. So that's it from Colleen. Our next question comes from Gabrielle. And she's asking, how do you plan your Instagram grid? How do you get a month's worth of content? Well, let's just answer that first question.
I don't plan my grid, which is, I probably should, but I don't know. It's a lot of extra work. I mean, I recommend doing that if like you're that kind of person. I'm pretty in tune with my branding, so I just am at the point now where I find things that fit my brand wherever I go because I'm looking for it or I'm creating it. So it doesn't take a whole... I mean, if I scheduled things, it'd probably look a little better. But I don't. So I do use... I mean, every once in a while. If I have, if I have a specific... Like, for instance, I took a picture of this thing for Dove yesterday because they hired me to do something. And they were like, you have to post between this date and this date. So I already know in my mind I need to take a picture and have that planned, like scheduled by then to do. So in certain situations, or if I'm like, okay, I know tomorrow is LSU football game, I know I'm going to use my post tomorrow to be LSU football. But I'm not like going through and picking the photo a month in advance and scheduling it. I know people who do that, who schedule all their content like a month out, and that works for them. That's awesome. But I'm like really, I mean, what if tomorrow I have a neck surgery or whatever? Like I like to post in real time as much as I can. Yeah. Whether or not it's pictures in real time, my captions are always like I'm sitting down and I'm writing it right then. Because I can use a picture of a palm tree I took a year ago and post it today and be like, getting on Instagram Live now, like, because I don't have my life scheduled enough to schedule my pictures. But I guess the next part of the question I can answer.
Okay, so the next part of the question was, how do you get a month's worth of content with the correct color scheme, etc.? Because I'm so ADHD, it stresses me out and I can't quite get the hang of an eye-catching feed.
Well, my biggest suggestion is just like boil it down to the best, like to your colors. Like for me, it's really easy now because it's like I like yellow, I like orange, and teal kind of became a brand color because I take pictures of the sky a lot. And so my house is decorated with those colors, not because I was like, this is my brand, I'm decorating it like this, but because my brand is me. So now it's to the point where everything I do is pretty branded or pretty easily branded because it's like me. I mean, there are a lot of parts of my day. I talk about this in my workshop. There are so many parts of my day that are not branded and they're not cute, and I'm just not going to post those things, you know? Like, I mean, so you don't need to be stressed out about it, but just like boil it down to like what you like. Like if you only want to post pictures that have blue in it, like that's easy. Just whenever you're out in the world, look for only things that have blue and just refrain from posting the things that aren't. You can put those on your Instagram story. You can put them on a but like another platform where maybe you're not as popular. Like for me, Instagram's my most popular platform, so I'm going to be a little more controlling about what goes on there. But if you get on my Twitter, like I'm just like wowing out, you know? So I mean, it's still branded to an extent, but I would say just be strategic about the colors you're using. Or if you're all black and white, like, I mean, you don't have any colors, that's even easier. But colors are probably the easiest thing, because when I go to someone's Instagram grid and I decide if I want to follow them, like I know within like by the first 6 photos because of how it looks overall. And same goes for me. So I want to make sure if you just come to my page for the first time that within like the first 6 to 9 photos before you even have to scroll, there's got to be like at least one picture of me. So like, you know who I am. And then at least one photography picture if I can, or, you know, it just needs to be something where it's easy to see really fast. So I wouldn't stress out about it, but just, colors are probably the easiest way to start, I'd say. Did that even make sense? I'm kind of like rambling. You're supposed to be here to, okay.
Okay, our next question comes from Sar, and they're asking, is there something in your branding that you're not happy with or that you would like to change?
Well, like I just said, my branding is me, so it's kind of easy now because I'm just kind of doing what I want because it's like, I like this, I'll post it, whatever. But at the beginning, I will say, I didn't know branding or like that, if that was a thing. I was just kind of like, oh, this girl took a cool picture like this, I'm going to edit my picture like that. And then the next day I'm like, oh, this other guy took a cool picture, I'm going to edit my picture like that. And then I was like, well, I like the way this looks, but I also like the way this looks. And then my whole Instagram feed was like 50 different aesthetics, and I didn't like that, but I also didn't know me. So I was like, I wish I could have like a style, I wish I could have a brand. And then I kind of just started doing what I like, and it grew into a brand that I was really proud of, because now I just only post what I want. I will say, I mean, I'm known for my like color, but I love black and white pictures, and it's always this funny thing where it's like, I was a cheerleader, but I was in band, and I was like an art major, but I was a sorority girl, and it's like, okay, I like love color, but I wear black all the time, like almost all the time I wear all black. I'm wearing orange because I'm strategic and I know I'm doing Instagram Live. That's my color. Like that's all part of the ruse now. I do like color. Like I love color. My whole house is colorful, but it's just like, that's the aspect of my brand that I'm like, ugh, that sucks, because if I just posted like, you know, when I post like us at emo night and it's like, we're wearing all black and it's like a black and white photo, like it doesn't perform as well on Instagram because it's like not as well known for like my brand. And I wish I could incorporate stuff like that a little bit more. But it's hard. So for the most part, I'm pretty satisfied with my brand. And it'll evolve over time as I do as a person, I'm sure. And with the things I do. So when I started out, I was like only doing senior pictures. So that's all I posted about. And then I was like only doing music photography, or only wanted to promote that. So that's all I was posting about. But then you can't like, I'm not a big fan of niching down so much, because then you put yourself in a pigeonhole. So it's like, so I took a picture, like all these pictures of this like metal band or something, and then I post only that, and then I take a picture of like this local blogger and she's like in a hot pink shirt, and I post that, and then I lose all these followers because they're like, we were here to headbang, and then her people were like, no, we were here for like her purse, and it's hard. So I feel like I'm more even now, like I kind of just do what I want, and it just all looks cohesive because it's my pictures. But at the beginning I didn't like pigeonholing my brand, because I did that over and over again. I'd be like, oh, like I'm only posting this, or I'm only posting that, and then I wouldn't post pictures of me because I was like, no one cares about that, they care about my photography. And now those are the best performing pictures, are ones about like me and my life, which is so weird because I'm a photographer and I want my photos to be this focus, not like me. But yeah, here I am on Instagram Live, so
here we are.
Times are changing.
All right, next question is also from Sar. They're asking, would you ever consider doing YouTube?
Yeah, I did YouTube in high school. Not good, though. I just had very basic editing skills, and my friends and I made like stupid, like chopped up videos and like with copyrighted music, like to put on our MySpaces, and all of that's still up there, unfortunately, because I'm like torn, like should I delete it, should I keep it, I don't know, because it is what it is, but I was like 15, and it was fun, and so I kind of stopped doing stuff because I was like, photography is life, not video. And then with these workshops, I've kind of gotten back into it because I'm like, well, video is the number one performing thing on social media now. Everything's moving towards video. I have a DSLR camera that takes really great video. I just never used like the features or the components for that. And I pay for Adobe Creative Cloud, so I have access to Premiere Pro, which I'm already paying for. And so, no, it's not too late to ask a question. Hold that thought.
Never too late.
We'll scroll up and we'll do that. And so I'm kind of getting back into video now, and I'm realizing I did an Instagram story poll the other day because I feel like those are the best insights for me to see, like, if any of you even care. Otherwise, I'm just talking to myself. And everyone said that they would like me to do more videos, so that's why I'm doing this. And I think I'm going to probably do some stuff on YouTube soon. Just trying to figure out what to do and make sure it's not stupid, because I don't want it to be stupid. But it'll probably just be me with a tripod like, hey, today we're talking about this. So, who knows? But I would consider doing YouTube. That'd be really cool if it like made $1 bajillion too. That'd be ideal.
Anyways. Okay, next question is from Sadie, and she's asking a very good question.
I don't want to answer this one, though.
This is a tough one. So how do you decide how to price yourself?
I don't. I let everyone else decide for me based on what they're charging. For real, though. So the problem was when I was working for the wedding photographer, she was a much higher price point because she's very established. She's been doing it for a long time, and she's got a clientele. And then I was kind of starting, and I was charging like nothing. Like when I was in college, I was like $50. I'll do your senior pictures. It would be like an 8-hour shoot, and I'm like $50. And they're like, can you drive me to the ATM and give me change? And I'm like, okay, sure. So, and then times have changed because they have to. $50 for like a never-ending shoot is ridiculous. Like no. So and so the photographer I worked for, she was always mentoring me, being like basically like you need to charge up because like I'm charging this and you're charging this, and that's like a disservice to the industry. And I didn't quite get that. I was like, what do you mean? Like, I'm just gonna be cheaper, whatever. And then I started realizing too, it's too much work. Like no one should be doing stuff that cheap because you just get the worst clients, like literally the most ratchet people. And then like they make you bend over backwards for everything. And then you're already not getting compensated enough. And then they're taking up double the amount of time. And then now I got all these back problems. I'm like, no, it's not happening. So I went up every year. Pretty much like I graduated college. I was like, oh, I have a degree. I'll go up to like 150, whatever. Still cheap. And then I went up again to like 250. I stayed there for like a year or two. And then I went up to 350. And then now I'm at 400 plus tax, depending on how many hours. And that still might be really cheap compared to some people. I don't really know. That's the problem with pricing yourself, is no one freaking talks about it. It's all like this like secret, mysterious, like competitive thing. And I'm like, no, I want to tell you how much I charge so you can tell me if that's like okay or not. Because I don't want to be the cheap person in town, but I also don't want to be the overly priced person in town. So I just want to be like an even competitor. That way people can truly just focus on picking someone based on style, not on price. Because once you get people who pay on price, once you get clients who decide on you based on your price, that's when you get like bad clients. Because they're just like, oh, I'm only picking you because you're cheaper than the other guy. Yeah. Like no one wants that. So I'm not trying to be bougie, but I'm also trying to be compensated for my time, because at this point my time is my energy and your money is energy, and like my back hurts. I don't want to go sit for an hour with all this camera equipment and like hate what I'm doing and then not get paid enough for it, and then still have to go home and edit pictures for another hour, you know? So I'm actually at a point now where I feel like it's a fair price, and you start to weed out people, and you start getting people who really want you, not just like, oh, you were this price. So that's the best, most vague answer I can get. Like as far as hard numbers, I have no idea. I've Googled, I've asked people, nobody wants to talk about it. And I think that's a big problem, because it just makes it even more competitive and like weird, and it's kind of like dog eat dog. I'm like, doesn't need to be like every person in this world needs pictures of themselves, of their babies, of their dogs, of their businesses, of their company, whatever. Like it's not competition. Like you'll be fine. Like I feel like there's enough to go around. So everyone just needs to talk to each other about pricing, because I'm just struggling. Like you can respond right now. Tell me if I'm too expensive or too cheap. I have no idea. I'm just kind of doing it. People say yes. I'm like, sure, I'll show up.
All right. Next question is from Matt, and he said it's actually not a question, but it could be a good discussion. Can you stress the importance of self-expression and not just the manipulation and appropriation of others' work?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you gotta do you.
Do what you want.
Yeah, but not do what you want. Like, if you want to steal someone's work, you should not do that. I mean, do what you want. Like, do what you want. Like, I don't know. Like, I was kind of talking about this earlier. I would see someone's photos, and I'd be like, oh, she edits this way. I'm going to do the same thing. And then I'd see someone else's photos and do the same thing. And then I'm like, I don't even know who I am anymore, because I'm just, like, copying what everyone else is doing. And then people want to hire you because you look like so-and-so. It's stupid. Like, what's the point? So I don't see the point of copying people. I see the point of, like, being inspired by people. If it's, like, I mean, your artwork should not be copying people. Like, if it's, like, a business strategy, like, yeah, copy them, because they're probably being smart. Like, you can implement the same thing. You know, like, I don't think appropriating other people's artwork is going to do anybody any good. Same goes with, like, posting photos without credit. Like, I can't get super mad at this, because I used to, like, take pictures off the internet and, like, practice Photoshop on them and then put them on Tumblr and rip the credits off and be like, it's mine. But I didn't know that was bad. That was, like, high school. And then so now I just feel like I'm getting, like, it's karma. Like, every time someone posts one of my pictures without, like, credit, I can't get mad, because I used to do the same thing. So I think you should always value someone's work and credit them for it and compensate them for it. And I don't see what the point would be to copy somebody. Like, I think being influenced or inspired by, for sure. But it just, you have no ownership over something if you're doing it just like everybody else. Like, what's the point? And then also, like, why would someone hire you? Because if you look just like someone else, they're just gonna it's like a 50-50 chance now. You might as well go left when everyone else is going right and completely do your own thing. So, like, for me, that was, like, not shooting weddings. Like, everyone's like, why don't you shoot weddings? Like, oh my God, like, why? And I'm like, because I don't want to. So, that's it. I mean, I'm not going to do it and hope I enjoy it someday. Like, I hate it. So, as of now, I'm not going to do it. And so, I think that makes me stand out. Because I don't. And it also makes me less financially stable. But it makes me happier. So, this kind of discussion. But, okay. Gabrielle asks, is it too late to ask a question? No, it's not too late. You can ask us, because I'll just sit here until you do, because now we're out of question.
We're going to sit here and
wait. I don't know how to do this. You just scroll. Ooh, it's like clear comments. Yeah. Did anyone else ask a question? Okay, well, how about...
Hi from Amsterdam. Look at that.
Who are you? This is cool. If you have a question, you can ask it now, because I'm just kind of like scrolling. Okay, I guess first question would be like, was this helpful?
Yeah.
Or boring? Okay, we have a question. How much did you teach yourself about branding, social media, and how much did you learn through Manship? I don't know.
Probably a lot of it was you. I mean, I don't want to answer on your behalf, but...
I learned different things from different places. So, a lot of what I learned was just from me being, like, fascinated by social media and following other people, following an array of people, bloggers, photographers, musicians, companies, whatever. I did not learn any of this in art school, I can tell you that. Sorry if my professors are watching. Y'all were really cool, but college was a glorified networking opportunity. And so when I started working at Manship, it was more, because it's like a corporate setting, but not. Manship's still a very creative place. Like, it's, I would say, compared to, like, he works at Community Coffee, I would say compared to, like, where he works, it's not as corporate. Everyone at Manship has some sort of, like, background in the entertainment world. Like, my executive director was, like, on Broadway, and then, like, my other boss was, like, a drummer in a band. So everyone's, like, super artsy-fartsy. So it was a little more laid back. So marketing in terms of, like, a commercial space, like, I think I learned a little bit there, definitely. But even when I showed up, like, they were like, what's a style guide? We don't have that. We just use this font and this color. And so I'm still kind of just like, I guess what I'm doing now is making the brand. Because there really wasn't anything set in stone. And so I learned a lot about graphic design and just like marketing in terms of like thinking of it differently. Because for me, I'm like, this picture's cool. I'm going to post it. I hope people like it. And at Manship, it's like, we have this show tonight and we've only sold 10 tickets and we have to sell the rest of them or else we can't pay the artist fee. It's like a different mindset of being like, okay, now I'm thinking of marketing like this is like do or die. We have sponsors in the line, or we don't want to look stupid. For me, it was just kind of like, ooh, branding, like this makes me look cool, or this I might like get hired someday. But for Manship, it's like very like we can pull the analytics of how many people clicked our e-blast, like, and see if like that had an effect on like selling tickets. So that was really cool to know. And we had like a marketing meeting today. I was at Manship today, and I've been really intrigued by that because I didn't go to school for business, but I feel like I have a different approach to business related things. And I'm fascinated by it and like how all that works. So I don't know if that answered your question. Okay. Taylor, what is the one thing that you would tell someone coming out of school who wants to be a creator as well? Just do it. That sounds like Nike. I mean, it is Nike. But really just do it because nothing's going to fall in your lap. And it's awkward to put yourself out there, but, like, no one's going to, like, praise you for the heck of it. Like, you have to do it yourself. So I feel like you need to, like, put your stuff out there and just be confident in it and be like, I'm doing this. And if people hate it, that's cool because someone who likes it will come along and then you'll have, like, even more of a niched, I guess, following base. But just doing it because I went to school with a lot of photographers and I don't know if they're watching, but, like, they're not doing they're not doing anything, which makes me sad. And it's because, like, they probably just didn't do it when they got out of school. And so, yeah, like I had to start with stuff I didn't like doing. And I still do stuff I don't like doing, but every day I get closer and closer and happier to the things I like to do. And it's going to be 4 years in May that I've been out of school, which is how long I was in school, which is crazy. So I think the first step would just be to do it. And like, he's got a different perspective on this because you're a perfectionist. But like I'm very impulsive. Like today I could be like, I'm going to build a new website and file an LLC and start a company, and I'd figure it out before midnight. And he would be like, no, we need a year to prepare. So like, it kind of depends on your personality, but for me, I would think like just doing it. Like you have nothing to lose. Like if people hate it, like so what? Like I started a blog in 2016 called Groove Slang, and I haven't touched it in a long time. And it probably is just gonna wither away. Like, but I didn't know that's not what I wanted to do until I started doing it. And then I realized, hey, it makes me want to blog more on my website. So you never know what you're gonna end up liking until you just start doing stuff. And putting yourself out there. So like doing awkward Instagram lives like this, like I said, no one's going to get on Instagram live and talk about me for me. Like I have to do it myself. So you're kind of like your own PR agent, like your own marketing people, your own everything. So that's what I would say. Angela, when you started branding yourself, how did you manage to shoot enough things that would fit your editing style? I feel like I shoot a lot, but none of it fits together, if that makes sense. Okay. So this is what I was talking about earlier with strategy. I shoot so much that does not fit my branding style. Like, I photographed on an oil field. I photograph, all kinds of stuff. Yeah. I just don't choose to put those things on my, platforms. So they might be on my website, buried underneath something. Or people are happy with the work, but it's not something that I'm going to post. So, or I might post one photo from that whole session that fits my branding aesthetic. Like, if there was one picture with a lot of blue sky in it, it didn't matter what the content was, but that fits my feed because I have lots of blue sky. So I feel like it's not about not doing it. It's just being selective with how you put together what you're posting or what you put out there. So you're kind of curating you're curating what you want to book in the future. So because what you put out there is what you're going to end up getting hired for. Yeah. And that took me a long time to figure out because I was like, I took the senior picture today. I'll post a picture of her. And then I'd get 5 people the next day who were I want to do senior pictures. So I'm like, okay, cool. So then I post her senior picture. And then 5 more the next day. And then before you know it, my whole Instagram was the same type of photo of the same type of girl in the same type of location over and over and over again. And I wasn't really happy doing it. And I was like, oh, it's because I'm feeding the fire. So then I'm like, no, I'm going to just only post musicians. And then what do you know? People start emailing me, oh, I want you to photograph my band, or can you come do this? So it's what you put out there is what you're going to book. It's the same thing with thoughts. If you think happy thoughts, then good things happen, that kind of thing. But I think you can still take those jobs. I do all kinds of weird photography stuff that I'm just not putting on my Instagram. But they pay the bills and people are happy with my work and it was a good experience and I networked from it. So, I think it's not no one's going to just magically come in your inbox and be I have this perfectly branded, curated opportunity for you. You have to do a lot of random stuff sometimes. And you just make it fit what you do. And that's how you just build up your brand more and more. And then where's Kylie? Will you be continuing the Occupied series? Yeah, I still take pictures in bathrooms. I just haven't been posting them a lot lately.
You need to.
I need to. So you can still tag. So if y'all don't know, I did a book of bathroom photos I took with my cell phone. Because why not? Because do what you want, right? And I made it into an Instagram account, and it's a hashtag. Oh my God, 1 minute left? These things end after an hour? This is stressful.
Oh no.
Oh my God, it's like a robot, like a rocket. It's going to explode. Anyways, yes, I'm still doing them. You can hashtag Occupied Vacant. Okay, next. Amber, how do you find brands to collab with? I'm really bad at pitching myself, so I don't. I usually just kind of twiddle my thumbs till someone emails me, and that's been going okay so far. But I would like to pitch 2 brands that I like because I feel like that would help with me being happier and working with brands that are more aligned. A lot of what I do is word of mouth. Because I say yes to a lot of things, I end up meeting lots of people in really weird, roundabout ways. But then I also end up overburdening myself and being too busy, so I'm trying to say no more. But that's kind of, it's just word of mouth, really. But a lot of your friends probably have small businesses or know someone who needs photos. Just post something on Facebook, be like, hey, I'm trying to build up this part of my portfolio. Who needs work? Taylor, how did you figure out what you wanted your basing style to be? I'm referring to the colorful 70s inspired design. I'm about to be done with all this because it's going to kick me off. So this last question. I just like that kind of stuff. My favorite shows are the Brady Bunch and Mad Men, and I love Led Zeppelin and the Beatles, and just I think looking at old photos really made me want to edit my photos now to look like that, which sounds counterintuitive because it's going backwards, but I love old Kodachrome photos and the tones, and I just kind of started implementing that in my life, and I collect a lot of vintage stuff and go to antique stores. I'm just pretty much reincarnated in the wrong time. And so I like to be nostalgic for a time that I wasn't a part of. I hope that answered. I'm sorry because it's all
20
going.
seconds.
So, yeah, if you want to learn more, I do have workshops online. You can go to the link in my bio, and it's the Do What You Want workshops, and it's about branding, social media. And thank you for tuning in, and I hope this wasn't boring. And it's going to cut us off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, bye.
Bye.